Chikahiro Tokoro, who will enlighten us. I hope that was right. Tokoro, I'm sorry. Who will enlighten us about how to create, generate anonymized databases with masking. So please give him a warm applause.
Should work now.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me? Great. So then, thank you for the voting. So I would present to you how to generate anonymized database with masking. Masking is my open source project name. It's finally, this is my second talk as an unconference talk. So Europe 2023 also like I was chosen, but as unconference talk. So only unconference talk so far now. Okay, but for here, why do we want to anonymize database? I shared my story, or real story. One day, you were doing for some release, and then you notice, or everybody notice, your main website is timeout. Timeout, okay? And then metrics shows something really wrong, red, but you don't know what happens. And then after the investigation, you see in the database, there's a bunch of waiting query. So what happened is like your main table was locked during the database migration. And post-mortem, check the delivery process, how it happens. So it is quite normal, I think. Local, and then staging, QA, and production. The point is here. There's a defined quantity of data set. And the local, maybe 200 milliseconds. Staging, okay, it's a check it. Staging, 3 seconds. Production, 1 hour. So then crash, right? But this is, I think it's not the only one time, like, it's common, I can say. But what if you have similar data set of production in your development process? And here, in your local 1 hour, of course, you should notice something wrong, right? But okay, then let's copy to the production database. Please don't. There are a bunch of reasons, but if I pick just one, GDPR. So email, the phone numbers, please don't copy to your local or even staging, testing data. So, but how? But still, problem is here. Then you can use anonymized data set. Now the question is how to generate it. But for the use case, it's not on. It's a database migration. It's for sure one of use case, like as I showed you the story. But not only. Sometimes, so migration could fail because of depends on data. Let's say for you want to the foreign key and production, there's some like violation. Then migration can be fail. Or this is also typical use case, SQL performance optimization. So you have a slow query log in production, but if you want to optimize, you need really accurate execution plan. For this, you need similar data set with production. Or sometimes, so some bugs is coming from data. For instance, you have the product table, and then you don't know why price is negative. Or sometimes it's okay, order and payments records, and there's a missing record of order. Why it happens? Or duplicates payment. This kind of bug, it's sometimes harder to find or reproduce as well. Or another use case may be better feature preview to your stakeholders, or BI use case. So this is it's actually like sometimes it's useful because like only analyzing purpose, or stress test, or there might be a bunch of use case. Your idea can be here. And actually, there's a startup for doing these same things, founded in 2020, but for the Postgres. But the catch is, when I start my masking, the date is 2019. I'm faster than them. So, okay, but how to implement anonymization? There's, one of strategy maybe copy database and update record. So you have the production database, just copy it and connect and update your database. This is, when I see the similar tools, this is most common way. But this is not the only way I can imagine. Set up replica and database trigger. So production is here, and replica is here. You can set up database trigger in this replica to update your sensitive data. Or proxy connection. Your production database here, and set up something connection proxy. SQL is coming from user or application. Then for the production, go for as it is, but for the interrupt SQL on the fly to anonymize sensitive data. Another strategy is, it's similar with first one, but read database from database client and then generate anonymized database. This is possible. And this is second common way when I see the similar product. A little bit different, it's similar, but also you don't need the client, just make it dump, anonymize it, and generate. Also possible. Okay, now we have the 4 strategies. Which one do you want to use it? Let's evaluate. This is my evaluation. The effort. Copy and data update, for me, it's obvious. Okay, maybe effort is low. Others are, not sure, but database proxy, it's maybe more tricky because you have to really good one and also like solid one. And thinking about for the data leak risk, and first one is worst because you have to have your production data as a copy. And then during the update, you still have the problem. You can be the leaking this there. Database trigger also, during the trigger, there is the data here, but trigger also can be failed. There's a slightly possible to the risk here. Others are not. Configuration, first one and fourth one is easier, just connecting the database. Proxy, just one setup, it's gone. Trigger, it's very, very high because you have to implement logic there. Performance regression can be happen for the database proxy because your production database is a proxy now. Think about it. And then time gap. The first one is a kind of for the 2-step, copy and update. It's gonna be longer. Others are like second one, trigger and proxy is almost real time. This is quite beneficial. Then also last one is I can say it's a medium. So which one do you want to choose? For me, I don't need real-time data, and then so I choose much more like relatively low-risk one. I choose this one, and then let's try to do that. That's the result of my tool of the masking. So written by Ruby and compatible with MySQL and MariaDB. How to use this? This is quite simple. Now you just define for the YAML file with database table and column name and how you want to anonymize that value. But tricky part is here. Email, because it needs to be often unique. And there's a special press folder for this. If you put this % and bracket and M, then it will be signature number. So, and So you put with MySQL dump, pipe it, and then makes the dump file like a normal MySQL dump procedure, and then destroy it. If you're lazy, you can do one line. I show you now. Okay, just for the demo, just I put from MySQL sample database. This is something for just pretty normal one, like customers. And then let's take it here. Sorry, it's a bit small, but here it's a customer's data, and there's customer names, last name, first name, phone number, address. There's a bunch of sensitive data, right? And then this is a configuration. Customers is a table name, and customer name is anonymous customers, first name, last name, or maybe customers. Maybe I can put the Chikahiro number to be here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then phone number can be just static, address line 2. This is a bit point here. It's address line 2 is actually nullable. Allow now, it's null. It's OK, so it's a nullable. So if you see the data here, so address line 2 is yes. Look, it can be null or level 3. No, it's a nullable column. In this case, you can specify question mark. Then it will respect for the null. Let's try it out. OK, now you have here MySQL dump. OK, I need complete insert. So this I will explain reason later. And this is a table database name, and MasKING to be here. And then just simply anonymize it. OK, works. Then now restore it from here, anonymized classic models. Try it out. Forget. Classic models. Typos. Correct? OK. So now here, I would reload now. Woo! Can you see? So now it's, customers here, last name, first one. So phone address numbers are here. It's anonymized. This is small data set, that's why it's super fast, but this is how it works. It's clear? OK. So I show you the demo now. OK. Now you can make the anonymous database, but now I come to the second part, how to implement this internal libraries. After hear this talk, you can be more lazy developer. There be design concepts, what I intentionally put it here when I developed this tool. First one, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. In another word, do one thing and do it well. This is from Unix philosophy. What do I mean here? So again, this is an interface of these two, MySQL dump, MasKING, and then file to be here. No database connection, because MySQL dump is doing for you. And no file handling. Only dealing with standard input and output. This is one of the big philosophy for the Unix philosophy. So, and also this is safe, because process happen on the memory, so you don't have the chance to having the production sensitive data. On the other word, maybe this is laziness, driven development. So avoid reinvent the wheel. Alex also explained yesterday's nice talk it's exactly very similar things. So for the handling for the files and for the outputs, standard output, but this is what is exactly needed. It's a passing data and process data. Same thing applies. For my case, database connection, which is much, much complicated than file. So, but this is it's really good for, I can really simplify the implementation. No external dependencies. On the other word, no GEMS dependencies. Use only standard libraries. Rails, it's having a bunch of dependencies here. To be fair, they are internal dependency though, but it's like for the instance. So GEMS can be explained what is the dependency here. This is masking, nothing. Right? Again, this is also laziness, so avoid third-party dependencies. But this is quite beneficial, especially I upgrading Ruby 3.01 to current one is Ruby 3.3. Almost nothing to be worried about it. So it just puts the CI to the Ruby 3 next version, and then pass the CI, acceptance test, okay. Because it's just depending on the standard libraries. And it's Ruby's standard library is quite rich. You can do actually many things. And another concept is quality. I put a lot of technique for the TDD. This is more internal process, but I found it's very useful. TDD, for me, it's the most important thing. It's not testing fast. Rather than you write test, and then you see very early feedback as if something wrong to writing a test, then this is a signal that often something bad for the design. This is what I feel for the most TDD. And then so I just I try to do it by myself, and then I try to metrics. If you do strictly apply for the TDD, it's a coverage 100%, it automatically comes, but don't be dogmatic. You don't have to be strict about it. But I just try it out by myself. And then, so this is more quality of the code. It is arguable what is a good code quality, but there's some like tools provide you the code healthiness. And I am the person who most surprised about this result, because I put this analytics after I made this tool, and I was so surprised. Okay, nothing to fix it. And acceptance test, we are lucky because we are in the era of the container, and then we can use real process. For my case, MySQL or MariaDB. So I can write inside against for the Docker container and acceptance test shell script. This looks like hard, but it's simple. Just setting up, like as I showed you in the demo, setting up for the importing data, and then test it with real command, MasKING dump and anonymised, and then compare the result, assertion. So, and then put it, when I set up here, put it on CI, I can test every version automatically in the CI. This makes more confident. How to implement it? So again, so this is masking, is another overview. It needs for the configuration file, and then input as a SQL dump file. Use input for both, and then making anonymized dump. This is an overview of this tool. When I start implementing, there's an uncertainty for me. Mapping configuration, this was more obvious for me, but it's more how to parse SQL. And also, I was not sure how to build whole architecture. Again, TDD comes to me, like, I found it's very helpful. TDD is actually like having two types. So classic TDD or mock TDD, inside out or outside in. Let's say, so I don't go for very much detail for this, but it's classic TDD is using real object, like a Rails unit test. Mockist TDD, it's like, outside in, it's as it means, like, it's mocking to the external, like any external dependencies. So for here, okay, when I do for the architecture, I try to do with TDD, and then this input and the output is clear for me, and then I started from outside in, and just for the standard input and the standard output, and Next, I try to with modeling. So map a configuration, and then go for the pattern rebuild. I use inside out. After I make this kind of parts, and then I try to make the kind of connection for them. I put the processor, but might be this can call it controller or service or use case, but whatever. But this is very thin. It doesn't have the logic. And then last one is easy. So because it's mocking, so just for the connecting the parts. This is how I build the internal applications. Now, parse and rebuild SQL. Rebuilding, it's not hard, but parsing I was not sure how to do that, and also yes, it was a bit harder. How to parse dump? Okay, this is a dump file, but if you analyze, so actually this is quite structured. The first one is like setting up database, like SQL options. And second one is defining table schemas, types, constraints, and then inserting data, and looping until like the table, how many tables do you have? This is a basic structure of the dump. And then, so here is a trick. For my use case, I need to know what is inside of the table. And then in here, inserting data has no data about what is the table. That means I have to pass the table schema. That says, yes, I can do that, but if we can, I want to avoid it. And then here, there's a MySQL dump options called complete insert. And if you put this option, so here structure was not changing. But so in the insert lines, now it has the table information. Then now I don't need to pass the schema. So it's the problem become very simple. You pass this one line, insert line, and then rebuild it. So makes much easier. So this is what when I'm finding out. Then how to parse SQL. But still, you have to parse this. What I try to do is, I actually try to do with regular expression. So, but basically this is three parts: table information, and column information, and actual data. Just simply prepare for the regular expression for them. But still, values, it's a bit tricky, because it can be many columns. But it's already, you know how many columns are there in this here. So because it's that 1, 2, 3. So then prepare for the regular expression for the value, and then multiply on the fly. So it's a kind of dynamically making the regular expression. And how many columns are there, it depends on. And then now, actually, possible to parse it. Okay, let's try with production data. So, reality. So, just as a parse is not enough, but because it's often production having much more harder, because you have many data, kind of like invalid or not invalid, but it's unexpected data. But let's see. Okay, let's try it without the journey to ready for the production data. Okay, here's a SQL, and then, okay, now an empty string. Okay, I just forgot it. Okay, so then just fix it. And then next. Okay, here there's already some problem. This is, same with the split of the strings. Okay, yes, fair enough. Okay, let's fix it. And next, go for here. Do you see? So here, there's it's called scientific notion. I didn't know the name that time before, but okay, let's fix it. I think, okay, now I think much okay. Then, come on, don't do that. But okay, it's a reality. Don't put binary in the database, but okay. As a library creator, I cannot complain for this. Okay, they fix it. And then now I can pass it production data. Yes. Then let's go for the restore. And somehow it complained that it is invalid SQL. And then I was really not sure why. And I really need to do the investigation. What's wrong? After a while, I realized this SQL already has a problem. So, okay, the strategy I use for the parsing the values, okay, how you distinguish the records. I use this parenthesis and comma as a separator. So to be here, like split it here, and you can see here. Do you see now? So problem is here. So string contains this pattern. So that's why it's actually parsing wrongly. And it was really hard for me. It's crashing, and for me it's like a last boss. And oh my God, I was almost talking about it. I really don't know how to solve this issue. Almost 1-2 weeks, and I have no idea how to fix this. But after a while, I noticed if remove parentheses to be here, this looks like CSV. This parsing problem or this pattern is actually same pattern with CSV. Then now try to see how to the standard library. Fortunately, so sorry, but Japanese, but you can Google Translate. But he is a maintainer of the standard CSV library, and he wrote a blog. And sorry, go ahead. Oh, are it to be here? Oh, sorry. Yeah. He explains exactly same problem in the CSV. If having that same letters be here. And then he explained how to solve it. Let's pick his solution. Thank you for the community. Okay, now, I have the programmatic SQL. And then still be here, there are 3 separators. And then now count single quote. Here, so there are 2 single quote, means this is valid string and it's valid record. It's if it's even. Okay, this is okay. But it's a next, if it's broken string, then it's not even, it's an odd number. So that's why you can detect, okay, this is something wrong. And after that, how you do that? It's actually concatenate with next element. Now to be here, and then count it again, 4 single quotes, now even number. So now it's valid. And then next one also like 4 single quotes, also valid. Okay, then now pass it. So this is how I implement here. It's quite complex, but it's actually, kind of like this presentation or documentation, it's actually for me too, because I can't remember this like very complex problem. So also like it's very hard to explain in the comment. So it's also helping to me too. So, but this is how I implement internally. So, but now, the great thing is, now I can pass it, production data, and build it. Now I can happy to say that now version 1.0. So this is already happened in 2019. And then I'm pretty confident that you can use for your production. What's next? This can be randomized for the fake data, because now it's a static values and only for the placeholders. But it's like faking data or randomized data. And parsing table schema, also one of them. Like type, if you do that, you can validate the type in the config, because now it's type agnostic, so you don't know like until run the restore. And also, if you do that, we don't need complete insert option anymore. And performance optimization, roughly now it's slower than 20% for the normal MySQL dump, which is quite okay for me, but it's like still there's a space for the improve for the performance. And also Postgres, I'm planning to do that. It's actually like try to do, but I didn't work so much for this here. If you want to support me, GitHub support is sponsor is open, or or just talk to me. Okay. Then that's it. Thank you so much. Any feedback is welcome.
Thank you, Chikahiro Tokoro. Now it's right, hopefully. Thanks a lot for enlightening us on your journey and your experience with that.